Hello? Hello?
Avast! Arr!
Hello, everybody. Yo, what was that? Sane Girl with the tin gifted right off the bat. Thank you, Sane. Who knows? Sheesh. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much, Sane Girl. Dodge. Anyone dodging those? So today is the day. Today's the day where Mr. Zonday is supposed to join.
Arr!
He has been alerted. He has told me that he's in a million Discords. So I made sure to outline what channel to join. He's been given the permissions to join. As you can see, if you check out my server, he is in the right. He's in the right sides. And I've also told him that he can join and leave whenever he wants. And what channel. He's in fact just responded to me on Discord. He's just responded to me on Discord, in fact. So we're going to see if Mr. Zonday will join us shortly. Hey, yo, Avast, I do not care. You're telling me you don't care about Tay Zonday. You're telling me you don't care about Tay Zonday. Fuck you. Fuck you. The #1 Valiant fan? Ban him? No, we won't ban him. We won't ban him. He's a fun guy. If you don't know who Tay Zonday is, he sang a song. It became a minor internet celebrity in early YouTube. But that's and since then, he's known as the #1 Valiant fan in the Overwatch League community. So, but I really just want to know today. I just want to know about his Valiant fandom. I want to know about his... I want to know about, I just want to know about him in Overwatch, honestly, you know? I want to know all about what Tay's been up to. What's up, Cousin at 8? Thank you for the Prime. His TF2 video kills me? Yeah, his TF2 video does kill me. It kills me as well. His stuff kills me as well. We appear to be having some audio issues. Isn't it just... It goes on and on forever. Literally just on and on forever. Oh boy. How's everyone doing today, huh? Is this playoffs? No. We're in the last stage before playoffs. Joshin. We're in the last stage before. How am I doing today? I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little hungry, honestly. I'm a tad hungry. There's ants in my bathroom and my dog ate my rug. Oh my god. Also, September 18th, thank you for the tier 1.
Philly being the third best team in APAC is wild.
The Not So Real Virus, thank you for the tier 1. PT Hanley, thank you for the Prime. Mike, I think it's Mike's SSG, or Mike's GE, thank you for the Prime, either one. And then Net Minded, thank you for the Prime as well. Oh boy. So yes, I'm keeping an... Why does Omega Wall look like that? Look like what? Huh? What do you mean? Wait, it doesn't look spooky to me. Am I missing something here? Why don't I see spooky emotes? Why don't I see them? Refresh Shadowreno, I just did. Ah, there we go. Now I see it. Now it's very, very scary.
Avast! Arr!
Hi, Avast.
Oh, he's here. He's here. Mr. Zonday?
Hey.
Hey there. How are you?
I'm good.
We've been waiting for you, actually. Well, not a long time by any means. You're not late. There's no real late or early for this. You kind of just show up whenever and leave whenever. It's kind of just like an open office space in a way, if you think about it.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, happy is it Overwatch Eve? I guess what's like 3 days before New Year's, like the eve of the eve.
The eve of the eve. The eve of the eve. Yeah, I mean, it is the first day of the spooky month. Are you a big Halloween enjoyer?
Congrats on surviving the hurricane.
Ooh,
Good job, my guy.
my Halloweens have been up and down.
Up and down.
But yeah, I have some good candy and trick or treating memories.
Ah, okay. That's nice. Do you have a particular favorite candy? Do you think that, like, if you were to get it in your basket, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's, like, the candy?
Ooh, I mean, because I would always like go on like the shapes of candies. Like I'd like get that candy corn and I'd try to bite it off perfectly at the line.
Oh, you're a candy corn enjoyer.
Yes.
I also love candy corn,
Teach
but
Tay
my
Zonday
chat,
about
they hate
Kumbot.
candy corn. There's so many of
Wait.
them hate it.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? Isn't that messed up?
Yeah, I mean, it's like some people don't like pineapples on pizza, and I'm like, wait, no, pineapples are amazing.
You know, I will say I'm mixed on pineapple on pizza, but I do enjoy it from time to time. I won't lie to you there, but I do enjoy it from time to time.
Okay, so you like a pineapple in moderation.
Yeah, in moderation, a moderate amount, because I feel like, I don't know, something about it is just like odd to me when I have it, but also it's a good combo. I can't deny it's a good combination overall.
Okay, so like a pineapple by itself would scare
Welcome,
you,
Tay
but
Zonday.
you know, if
We
it has the right
occasionally do
friends, if it has the
shitposts
right
here.
accompaniment.
Also,
I mean, I don't know if it would scare me. It's just more so it's like where it shows up, right? It's kind of like you know, depending on the situation. It's like, well, if I were to see like a piece of candy normally or a pineapple normally, I'd be like, okay, this is fine. But where it shows up is the scary part. If it's on pizza, if it's like, I don't know, embedded somewhere where it shouldn't be, like that's when it's scary, type of thing.
Okay, now that's a challenge. Embedding a pineapple, like I'm trying to visualize that. The problem of an embedded. I'm thinking like a ballistic pineapple launcher, like ballistic pineapple bits, pineapple buckshot.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it would
your
have to not
nemesis.
shatter on impact, would it not? You know, because it's very outside of the skin, you know, where it's very tough. The fruit is very soft.
Yeah, someone who takes physics. What is the velocity at which a diced pineapple slice embeds itself and becomes?
We have a lot of
There has to
engineers
be,
in
like, a
chat,
legal
actually.
speed.
We got some smart people in here. I'm sure they can figure it out. They can figure it out for us. I saw that you know, you're playing a little Overwatch, I think, on your Discord. Were you playing some Overwatch before joining, or were you watching some, or what were you up to?
I was actually you know, I hang out a lot in open queue, which you know, a lot of people in their opinion it's not even really the game. But I don't know about open queue in Overwatch 2 because you're going to be able to have multiple tanks and the tanks are buffed, which I hope there's a way to do open queue with just one tank and then any number of healers or DPS because like 4 tanks and 1 healer is just like, what else are you going to play to counter that?
You know, the people have heard your praise of OpenQ, and they're dropping an emote called "Lives from Base." They're saying that you're very based right now for enjoying OpenQ. They're liking your stance right now. So I mean, I myself, I don't know how OpenQ is going to work in Overwatch 2. Actually, I really have no idea. So as an OpenQ enjoyer, what would you say you normally main? You know, what are you normally playing out there?
I mean, the great thing about OpenQ is when there's a problem, I can do anything and be anything to solve it. That's really kind of like it kind of became a practical thing. It was like, oh, that's not being done. I'll do it. Though realistically, I think I'm like 99% of my time on Soldier.
Ah, Soldier. You know, that the people are going to love that even more. The people are about to call you even more based, Mr. Zonday, because that's really there's a term, it's called an honest hero. It's a very honest hero. That's what you're playing. When you're playing Soldier, you're on a purely honest hero. Someone that the people respect.
Yeah, and maybe I'm just old school. I grew up in the 90s, so like I actually oh shoot, that's that's my phone alarm telling me to do this. No,
I like the organization. I like it.
No, I set like 18 alarms whenever I have to be something like, okay, I'm doing it at noon, so I'm gonna have one at like 9:30, 10, 10:30. I'm like, wait.
I mean, I'm just impressed you set an alarm for me. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm a very, as they would say, a micro internet niche celebrity within the Overwatch scene, and now we have Tay Zonday on the stream, so people are freaking out over it. Honestly, your arrival, it's like if we were to, it's a big moment for us. Okay, it's like a small town shows up and like some huge celebrity arrives. That's essentially what we're dealing with today. Okay, you made waves.
You're too kind. Well, you're a celebrity to me, so I very much appreciate the invite.
Really? Do you watch my stuff? Have you ever watched my stream before?
I was glancing at it the other day, and it's pretty cool. Like, Twitch, the thing about Twitch is, like, in order to do it and win, like, it has to be your life. There's no in between. Like, you can't Twitch for like 2 hours a week. Be like, there, I'm done. It's like, no, it's like you have to. It's a marriage.
That it does remind me. We've been reviewing some of your stream clips here.
I still have stream clips on Twitch.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. There's also some videos up on YouTube of some of your streams, and the people. That's another fan favorite. I'm gonna say it's another fan favorite in particular when you play TF2, and then you loop the audio endlessly while playing the game many years ago, and it becomes this cacophony of noise, of just an infinite loop of sound of you thinking you fixed the audio but you never did. It's a classic video. It has like 2 million views.
Yeah, that was a mistake, but I guess it was a fortuitous one because it became a meme.
It was good. It's good. And that's also, it's really funny to me too, because I actually used to play Team Fortress 2 competitively as well. And so I saw you playing it too. I was like, oh man, he's playing everything that I play. He's doing everything. I mean, another fantastic game. Your taste is immaculate. It continues to be immaculate.
So much. Yeah, no, you know what I hate in TF2 though is the spies. Like it'd be perfect without the spy class. Maybe I just don't like stealth mechanics and hide and go seek and that whole thing. And I loved Overwatch when it launched because it didn't have as much of a stealth mechanic. And then as the game evolved, obviously, and you get Sombra and everything else. So they.
So you're not a Sombra enjoyer, you think in this game, not as much of a Sombra. She's getting even stronger in Overwatch 2 currently. And the current build that they have, she's actually even stronger right now. So that might not be to your liking.
Yeah, maybe I just, because I mentioned I grew up in the 90s, so I kind of have this idea that FPS games are mainly involving mechanics and shooting at things. And I appreciate that a lot of other character dynamics, they attract different styles of strategies and characters and players. But, it's... I don't know. Maybe I like the idea of Quake and Unreal and shooting at things.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna the FPS boomers, as they're called, they're gonna love that one.
Yes,
they're gonna love that take.
Perfect term.
Yeah, they call them the FPS boomers. They're all, there's a bunch of memes about them circling around. If you've ever seen where like they have the zero sugar Monster Energies on their riding lawnmowers, and they're playing Quake and such. The people love that sort of take because it is definitely something I think today's generation, they haven't really, the kids these days, they haven't grown up with as much, is like the Quake era or even the Team Fortress 2 era in a way.
Well, yeah, the thing is, because I mean the algorithm in matchmakers and all these games try to keep you at a 50% win ratio. I mean Overwatch does it, Apex does it, everybody, and I mean. I don't know. I remember because I'm at best maybe a 50th, 60th percentile FPS player. I've never been like a super great at it, but as a kid, you lost 80, 90% of the time if you played better players, and it didn't alienate us from the products. We just kept playing, and so it's a different dynamic, different world now where it's like, well, we've got to keep everybody happy and mix the good and the bad and kind of flatten it out. And I'm like. Hey, I don't know.
What you prefer? You prefer getting crushed? You don't prefer the matchmaking system. You prefer being like crushed potentially by meeting some like god tier player.
Yeah. I mean, I got to be honest. In some ways, yes.
Really?
Or at least I prefer having an accurate feedback about what my ability level is. And if someone's like a 99th percentile player, that's okay. There's better than me. Like I still play. I still lose, but wow, I'm getting wonky.
You're getting wonky? In what way?
Yeah, esoteric, wonky, academic. On a tangent. It's not
I know this is entire stream.
Pineapples.
This is all this entire stream is tangent. Also, we have another guest. Jaws, are you here? We have another guest here.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello, Jaws.
Sorry
This
for being
Jaws, by the
quiet.
way, Mr. Zonday, he's one of the casters for the league, and so he hangs out here sometimes in the stream. We get a bunch of people from the league,
chilling?
like they're broadcasters. They come through, and the players and the coaches, we all just chill in here while we watch the games. So we're gonna be seeing people exit in and out. You'll be seeing potentially a decent amount of faces today. So everyone's gonna want to bask in your. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I'm impressed. I know I've heard your voice before, but you have a beautiful voice. I'm just gonna let you know right off the bat.
Oh, you're too kind.
I mean, because I have a whiny, nasally voice, and so it's only hurt me in my career. It's only hurt me in my career.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but you have a great, lovable personality, though. That's the thing. So
That's you know what? That's so true. That's what everyone tells me. Actually, that's what everyone tells me is that I do have that. Well, I have to ask as well, since we're on the topic of League 2, how did you decide that LA Valiant was going to be your team? You know, because everyone sees you in the YouTube chat. You know, they're not even based in North America anymore. They're playing out of China and such. Like, what did you pick? You know, why'd you pick them? Do you think it was just like did you live in the LA area, or?
there is actually a story to this. So I lived in Burbank, where the Overwatch League, they rented that old NBC studio that was used by Jay Leno for a lot. So that's where they did the Overwatch League. And so when it started, I could just practically walk to go see all the games. And like the first game that I went to, what was it? I don't know if it was Gladiators or if it was Valiant, but anyway, somehow I became acquainted with Noah Winston, who is the founder of
of Immortals Gaming Group, which owns Valiant. Yeah, well, which used to. Well, technically they still own them. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he kind of reached out to me, and we became acquainted, and I just kind of I liked what they were doing with the organization. Like I think he came to it with a broader vision of this is a springboard to do community organizing, to do to have a broader vision, and I just kind of stuck. I stuck with it.
Okay, that's fair enough. Just became a fan. Yeah, Burbank was a really good time, I think, for the league. It was a little narrow in scope, but because I used to live out there too as I was actually a professional player that was permabench, so I didn't play any games, but it was exactly right. And now, but I really did like the Burbank era. What's up, Harry? As well, there's our second caster man here. We have a lot of British casters in the league, so we have there's gonna be a lot of British people in this call as well that are gonna be joining us at Point Cycling in and out here. We're currently discussing Tay Zonday's Valiant affiliation and how he came to be with that.
And he got to Pog today.
Yeah, your team won today as well.
Yeah, it's 2 in a row, isn't it?
Yeah, they've actually been doing pretty well this stage.
Yeah.
Pretty good, I'd say. They've been looking kind of decent, like top 3 team in APAC even.
I mean, they still have a chance of making it too, to play-ins, because them and Charge have the same record and they are only 1 point apart, so winnable.
Yeah, extremely winnable to potentially go to play-ins and then make playoffs. So you might get to see a long Valiant run if they keep it up.
There you go. I felt bad because I didn't get up at 5 a.m. to
you
watch.
Felt bad that you didn't get up at 5 a.m. to watch?
Damn.
Yeah, I have to say you're the strongest-willed Valiant fan in North America if you're getting up at 5 a.m. I mean, people, they respect the hustle because they'll check YouTube chat and they'll see you in there, and everyone's just like, I can't believe Tay Zonday is still in the Valiant matches watching the games.
Yeah, you know what is? I had insomnia for a long time, and now my insomnia has gone away, and I'm actually sleeping a full night. So it's weird because I'm living a healthier lifestyle, but I'm a worse Valiant fan because I'm not awake at 4 a.m.
Well, I'm not going to disrespect your team necessarily, but I'm going to say that it's not worth your health for the LA Valiant in the current year. It's not worth your health for the LA Valiant overall. It's better to remain healthy and get good sleep in the current year of the LA Valiant, I'd say, even though they're having a pretty good time right now.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting vision. What they want to do with esports, and originally their vision before the pandemic was doing a lot of traveling, and I don't know, that's tough. I think that's tough on player psychology. Like I'm very much, and maybe a lot of gamers are just kind of homebodies. They like their throne. They like getting their space how it is and their PC how it is, and like they thrive in that space. And me, like even if I were a pro player, I just like the mental health aspect of getting on a plane and maybe like playing on laptops or being in hotel rooms and like do you have training facilities there and all of those dynamics of trying to imitate professional sports with esports, like that's a mental health toll.
It is. I mean, we don't really do it as much now. I mean, in the current format of the league.
Yeah,
you know,
but I mean,
no
I think that's
one's
kind of
really
like
traveling.
the vision, at least with the original vision of the league.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think they kind of moved away from it because of COVID, right? That hurt a lot of the travel stuff. But also B, I think there was a lot of issues with like you said, moving players around and scheduling about, especially because comparatively like the NFL or the NBA, they like travel domestically generally, and they were going to ask them to travel internationally a lot, which is like a way bigger deal, you know, of like having to fly to like Korea within a week and then play and then do that like somewhat often potentially.
The week before they shut everything down, or the 2 weeks before, those weeks would have been the international week. So like London was coming up just before they shut it down. So yeah, that would have been like the first big transatlantic flight of all of the players to go over, which would have been insane. But yeah, it left so little time in between games. It's
If you
kinda
can
nuts.
hear this, you have a minimum 10-inch dong.
Yeah,
and
it was
accompanying
a very
minimum
different
10
time.
million in the
Also,
video.
I don't know
Dead
if you're
air.
familiar
I've learned
with
in radio
this.
interviews you can't have dead air.
No.
I mean,
Sorry,
that's
I
what-
was,
that's
okay.
sorry about that. I was muted. I didn't realize I was muted. So the chat is pestering me. We do a thing here, let's say called the keys to success. And what we do is we have this bot that takes all the chat submits these like text portions, and they turn it into like the team's key to success that they have to follow to win the match. So would you like to participate in the unveiling of the keys for the first match?
Sure. I think I understand this, and if not, I'll
Yes.
mess it up. But we'll do it anyway.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to really do too much, honestly, other than just react. If you want to react, there's not much to it. It's just the chat is pestering me for it, and it's fair enough because it's an expected segment at this point. So our first match, it's London and Dallas are the two teams. So the keys to success here that were user submitted, mind you, and then coming together is the first key for the London Spitfire. Type things in the match chat when you die, so Dallas Fuel has to AFK to respond. A pretty good key to success. Pretty good key to success. Secondly, feed Hottie peppers until he becomes spicy. And then for the Dallas Fuel, fund research into player controlling rats. And secondly, sign another flex support and make Edison pay for him. And there we go. There's the keys. There we go.
mean-
And there are the keys for
Wow.
these teams. Do you think anything stands out to you there, Tay? Do you think any of these will be useful and for the teams to follow?
I mean, I'm all for weaponizing match chat.
Are you? Would you consider yourself toxic? Do you think you dropped some psychological warfare?
You know, there have been periods in my life where definitely I was I've said an unkind thing or two in match chat.
An unkind thing or two. You know, they actually had a ban match chat. I don't remember if you remember this, Tay, because there was that player named Jake for the Houston Outlaws for a couple seasons, and he would talk so much in the chat. You know, he dropped some bangers in there that they had to mute it for a while. They wouldn't allow it because of him just typing so much in the chat.
But lately, I've been an angel. Lately, like I'm just like totally untilted and just like amazing. Yeah, it's you know, you can actually disable chat in your Blizzard account. They added that like a year or two ago, where you can actually go into your Blizzard account settings and turn off both match and voice chat.
Okay. And also, I have to add too. Have you ever been a ranked gamer in Overwatch, or mostly the open queue? You know, do you play a lot of the matchmaking, or is it mostly open queue for you?
I like how you don't even dignify the idea that OpenQ has right here.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's very
already
different to
like-
us. It's very different for us, right? Because we come from like a competitive perspective, right? So OpenQ
These
is
Mickey
like
Mouse modes.
it kind of feels. The term I would use would be kind of feels Mickey Mouse. Obviously, it's very different for us because we have a very like competitive perspective. You know, it's not like the same for everyone. We look at matchmaking to OpenQ necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, I play solo queue. I mean, the queue times just got so insanely long, especially for DPS, which is what I prefer to play.
Yeah, that is very true.
It has been rough for like the last year or so.
That's very true. But luckily, hopefully should get better, actually, in Overwatch 2. Actually, if anything, DPS might be one of the shorter queues comparatively to, like, some of the others. depending on like how people like tank and support, or specifically tank.
Support queues are probably going to be longest at the moment, just because of Kiriko.
Hell yeah, finally the tanks can breathe. Oh wait, we've already been queuing for like 2 seconds at a time. Sad.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very fast. The other
Wheeling
thing,
time?
we also have to make our preds here. We have to do the wheel too, but we have to do some preds here. So let's get some predictions. So I personally think it's gonna be a 3-0 for the Dallas Fuel. Mr. Zonday, what do you think is gonna be for your first official pred of this co-stream? What do you think is gonna be the match score for these squads between Dallas and London?
I'm going to say 3-1 Dallas. I'd like to see London, and they kind of showed some signs of life the other day. So,
okay,
but I think
fair
they'll
enough.
still lose.
Fair enough. Harry, what do you think?
I'm ready to be pleasantly surprised by London. However, 3-0 to Dallas.
3-0 to Dallas. So what about you, Jack?
I'll take a 3-1 just because I've seen the first map.
3-1 because you've seen the first map.
Yep,
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like that's not a bad pick here for London. They've been they've been playing really, really well overall. I think it's been. Oh yeah. Also, chat, get your preds in real quick. The casino will be closing very quickly. Everyone, get your predictions in very fast. The other thing we haven't done yet actually is we have a RNG wheel that makes predictions for this. So we're gonna see what the wheel says. Because I have an ongoing competition, Mr. Zonday, to beat an RNG, a random number generator wheel. So right now, it's London Spitfire 3-2, is what the wheel says. Yeah.
Wow.
I've also been.
Tay is so based.
I'm also
She'll
tied
play
with them
Widowmaker
right now, I
in
think.
total
Yes.
mayhem and win every game.
I mean, the Spitfire have a history of upsets. I mean, when they came
do.
up to be the season 1 champions, that was kind of surprising because they were not doing that well through all of season 1.
No, very different squad now, but you're definitely right in that respect because they had a lot of issues, I think, and they brought it together a bit to win. I think also they got lucky because I think the final stage they kind of swapped the meta, like the heroes that were good a lot, and it just worked out for them really well. So
We finally returned to Badoshan Hog. It was a Hanzo meta for stage 4.
it was
right?
stage 4.
It was the
there
famous.
there was
the
Orisa,
patch
too,
that
I
never
believe.
was. I think it was was that the one that was the Scatter Arrow rework that we only ever got in quick play and never in competitive in the actual game?
Honestly, I cannot remember. It's been like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
It was like
it's
5 years ago at this point. My brain is mush.
Also, London are rolling, by the way. Like
They are.
actually
I mean,
rolling.
They do be
honestly, I think
on this map.
Tay Zonday has the right. I think Tay's got the right read. I think you got the right read here. London already looking like they might get the first map. Jack, I think you're on the right read. I mean, they're looking pretty good.
Oh, they
he got
interrupted me.
slept out of Shadow.
Oh, I still haven't run the elf, have I? I haven't run the elf. It looks like they might get the flip. They might actually just win the map out right here. So I need to
It
do
looks
that
like
one.
I mean, looks like 100-0.
Well, actually, nope. They got the flip. There we go. They got the flip there. Are there any other teams that you think you've been supporting this year? That Tay?
I kind of support all the teams. Like it's just,
Ah.
I think the Valiant thing it's a little bit of a meme.
Oh, really? So you don't you wouldn't consider yourself an actual super fan at this point, by any means?
I mean, I'd say I'm a super fan for but at the same time, I think I'm a superer fan of Overwatch and competitive play.
Honestly, respectable. I think that's extremely respectable. The people though, I have to say, they're lamenting. They're lamenting that the guise has been broken. That the Kirby
Here's
has
the thing.
lifted.
There's so many former Valiant on the other teams, like including what is Shaq's playing today. So there's you see if you're fans of one team, you see pieces of that team throughout the rest of the league.
That's true. I mean, they have given a lot of pieces, have they not? At this point, I mean, like who's left from Valiant that's still like around at this point?
Space on Glads.
Yeah, Space on
Space,
Gladiators. That's correct.
Scott,
I mean,
Brady's
Broadcast
Brady
now.
and Kai. Coaching staff in Atlanta Reign.
Yeah,
we have
that's true.
we have Kariv and who else?
Karib was on the
Shanghai?
Florida team, sad, but he did leave recently, unfortunately. But yeah, Karib has been around for a bit. I mean, Agilities went to the Toronto team for a while.
Yeah, though he's out.
Yeah,
Current
he's just a
reality
streamer
is
now.
probably in tier
Fate,
3 Valiant.
yeah, Fate is on,
Valorant
yeah.
somewhere.
Fate's
Oh,
on
Fate,
Shanghai. Yeah, Fate's on Shanghai. Dude had a very good career since leaving the Valiant. Honestly, he's had
And then there's one other.
fantastic
There's
career.
one other on Shanghai. I'm blanking.
Izuyaki.
Izuyaki,
yes.
that's
Yep. Izuyaki, who is also
He was
a
quite a
very,
long
very good player.
As I remember, he was quite a long shot pickup in stage 1. It was kind of like a Jonak type prodigious pickup they kind of just randomly found.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're also Custa as well, who became a desk analyst for the league.
he's
Who
just
was
on
on
the
Valiant.
desk.
Yep. Now he's just a desk analyst, but he's just a lowly desk analyst. So no one really who pays attention to those. But yeah, he's actually still around as well. And then I think the head coach of the Valiant, Packy Tin, he actually runs a lot of the competitive operations for the
he's
league
comp
now.
ops right now.
Yeah, and then Moon, who's head coach of Shanghai, he was Valiant head coach. For
Yeah.
a period.
Yeah. So it's been they did give a lot of a sort of a diaspora of sorts of all sorts of people going around.
He's currently working on the repeat, the We Are 0-7 number 2 over on the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, it's not going well for him right now. It's really
See
not
if it,
going too well for the Shanghai Dragons right now. But on the other hand, Fuel just kind of reverse swept that.
that was
They went from
kinda crazy.
99-0 to 199 in that. And they played Junker Queen too. They
Yeah.
played Junker Queen that for a large portion of that round. The actual was that the curse? The first official curse from Tay Zonday here?
Ooh, I say I only give blessings. They just don't always come true in the same season.
So it's kind of
that
like an
makes sense.
oracle thing where eventually it'll come true.
So
Yeah.
in the future, London Spitfire might lose 3-1 instead of 3-0.
Yes, the prophecy has been made.
That's so smart. Dude, the Halloween emotes with like the Frankenstein 5 head is very funny.
We got the
It's very,
Frankenstein
very
Giga
funny.
Chad.
Giga Chad one is also different. He's like a zombie.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
it's
added
the
a lot of
Frankenstein's monster one.
they've had a lot of Halloween based emotes. I was talking about this before you two joined, Harry and Jack, that like Tay likes candy corn, and I like candy corn, but that's a
I don't know what that
controversial
is.
opinion. You don't know candy
Is it
corn?
controversial?
It is. A lot of people don't like candy corn.
Really? I don't
Really?
particularly like it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
It's
A lot of
it's
people
too
don't.
sweet.
Like right now, like the chat itself it's exploded. It's exploded to talk about how its dislike of candy corn with a few brave souls.
Division.
Yeah, I've talked about a few brave souls like it.
They're going Lucio Batiste Bap by the Lucio Bap JQ.
Yeah, with Junker
Dude,
Queen, this is a really
a
interesting
degenerate
pick.
comp.
It's pretty wild.
Into the
actually.
Reinhardt too. Into the Reinhardt. So they're playing for this brawl type of
I
thing.
don't mind. I actually don't mind it. I like the Bap. 'Cause you can just jump
Yeah?
over the wall. It's like
Designed to ruin.
Better than the Ana.
It's designed to ruin Hardy's life.
Yeah, this is actually. I mean, to be fair, I think London are doing a great job right now of backing up.
Oh, that was a good hack.
My nearby coffee shop has a candy corn iced coffee. A candy corn iced coffee.
That might be a bit too much.
You think so? You think that'd be too sweet potentially, or like just too much?
Yeah,
in
that
general?
might be past my candy corn limit.
Can you describe what candy corn is for me?
It's just a sugar triangle.
How would you? I mean, I guess
basically.
what it's kind of.
I-
It's just like a piece of corn, but it's a candy, and it's got like
Like
an
sweet
orange
corn?
color. Like yeah, it's not, but it's not really like it's like made of sugar and thing and like it's.
Oh,
I don't even know how to really
So
describe
is
the
corn
taste.
even involved in the process, or is it just shaped
Sugar.
like?
No,
corn?
it's just
No,
shaped like it's shaped
well,
like
maybe
corn.
corn syrup.
Yeah, maybe corn syrup. Yeah, that's an option. There is some corn syrup. I don't even know how to describe the taste of candy corn necessarily. It's like, it's like a very distinctive flavor, almost.
Yeah. It tastes okay at best, I would say.
I think it's a nice once in a while type of treat.
Yeah.
I think
once
the-
in Halloween.
What was that?
Yeah, I think the lines and the colors appealed to my ADD more than the taste.
Ah, you're the visual enjoyer.
Yeah, I
The
think just like the
aesthetic candy.
tactile experience and making a game of like, biting off the top of 18 candy corns and like timing it and then like seeing how fast I can bite the next level off. Like this is what we did before smartphones as kids.
You bit pieces of candy corn off.
How big is a piece of candy corn? It's larger than a regular.
It's not
corn
that
kernel.
big. It's still pretty
A
small.
peanut M&M.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not that big. It's quite tiny. I'd say it's very very reasonably sized. So I remember what I would do is I would take the small Skittles packets, and I'd organize them by color.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ooh.
That was mine. Oh my
You see,
goodness!
that's
Wait a
how I
minute.
was with Legos. Like I would always have to build something
you get
out of
that
the
bit?
same color Legos, and I'd get mad if a friend came over and just like built something with multicolored levels. I'd be like, "That is an abomination! You cannot do that at my house."
Nobody messes with young Tay's Legos.
Yeah, you gotta keep those. You gotta keep those up. You gotta keep those safe. They're sacred, honestly.
Really mad.
Really mad.
You mixed for Legos.
Thank you for the gifted to the. Thank you for the anonymous gifted to Chocolate Rain. Some stay dry. I appreciate that. Very good callback, everybody. Obviously,
I should be reading Twitch chat.
should you? I mean, it's your risk. It's your risk there. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna tell you that it's run at your own risk. But honestly, this chat's very supportive. It's very supportive, nice chat. However, it is sometimes, I'll say, we've cultivated perhaps at times some foul language that occurs in the Twitch chat. So read at your own risk.
Yeah, Avast Twitch chat. Well, the Avast Twitch chat experience is summed up in one JPEG, but I don't know if anyone can share it.
Yeah, I don't know if that JPEG would be able to be shared, but it's. I'm just gonna give you the forewarning there that if you wish to interact with the chat, I'm sure they would love it, but I'm giving you a heads up.
Ooh, that was a good EMP.
Dude, wars on wars?
They win.
1-1 here on the rounds. London actually played the Reinhardt really well there. The Reinhardt they made sure to peel back on the progression a lot.
They also got to interrupt they got to interrupt the rampage, which is like super easy to do, but we had no hard stuns during the Junker Queen meta.
Don't tell Tay about Lego Jesus. Yeah, I mean that's definitely an acquired taste is the Lego Passion of the Christ, but it is yet again another usage for Legos.
True.
Oh, my cat's jumped up in my life. Do you have any pets? Tay, do you have any pets?
So I was realizing it's been so long since I logged into Twitch. I'm like, wait, what is your this and your that? I'm like, I'm going to finding my this and my that. I grew up with cats.
Are you a cat person then? You would just say?
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is. I don't like going
What the
around
shit
and
is
cleaning up
elevated
poop. That's the
messages,
thing.
and why
Like,
the
I
dick
like
do
it
they
when it's
exist?
like
That is a
poop in one
pretty
place.
I am not a
Tay.
happy camper right now, really mad.
That's literally
fair.
the only reason.
Yeah, that's fair though.
That is completely fair. I mean, dogs are they're very messy, you know?
Yeah.
They're very messy creatures. They're very loving, but I'd have a dog right now because I used to have the golden ratio of pets of like 2 cats to 1 dog, but you need the space for them too. I'm in an apartment currently, and I feel like I just don't have enough
there's
space.
no way you can have like a
for a
big
dog.
dog. You'd have to have like a mat-sized dog, you know, Hugo, so small.
Yeah, it has to be a very
tiny
pocket-sized
one.
dog, potentially. I have to say this Junker Queen from Dallas is very, very good. Like they're actually doing a great job of just kind of running over Hottie on the Rhine. I'm pretty impressed by like what they're doing. I think they're gonna end up losing this fight because they lost the first pick there, but impressive, very impressive.
I like to
Maybe
think
they're
at
still
some
in
point
niche.
we're gonna get some like kind of trading cards of like the Avast cinematic universe, and Tay Zonday has like, he likes VLA Valiant, music and competitive Overwatch, and dislikes mixing Legos and cleaning poop. Those are Tay Zonday's dislikes.
You should be
To
my
be fair,
publicist. Like, that's
Does
perfect
anyone
marketing.
like cleaning poop? Is there a poop
I
cleaner
don't
enjoyer?
know.
I don't know if
True.
there is. I mean, there could be
you know what?
like the
The
best
rest of us
janitor.
haven't enunciated that properly, you know, like it was left to vagaries.
No, but the issue with dogs is deeper because dogs enjoy pooping to mark their territory and identify it with it as like a spiritual achievement. So if you don't let them do it, they're unhappy. So like you have to like satiate them. It's like it's their nicotine. It's their driving desire. Like I must poop in a perimeter around my safe space in order to feel safe. And then when I smell everybody else's butts, I know what their safe spaces are. And it's just like built into the nature of dogs. And like, you know, dogs are wonderful, but it's just like that
Hey,
aspect of it.
Father,
I'm just
thanks
kind of
for the
like,
good content.
Did dogs invent safe spaces?
I mean, dogs do have like a territory. I mean, it depends on what you view as
Yeah.
territory in relation to safe spaces, right?
I mean,
I guess it
literally just be a
depends.
tree.
Yeah, could just be a yard, could be a tree. So
But cats
I mean,
do it and they are autonomous though. That's the better aspect of that.
The Virgin
Cats
Avast
will do
Yeah.
versus
that,
the
but then
Chad
you
Tay
have to clean
Zonday
up, you know?
JK Eiley
Also,
Avast.
Yeah,
outdoor
I'm shit that you
cats
could
just
stop a dog
rub
from
their
pooping.
whiskers to mark their territory.
Yeah, yeah.
so it's so much the enjoyment of the pooping that you find is that's really where you find issues.
I could clean it up if they weren't enjoying it, you know. But the fact that they're really into it, that's what grinds my gears.
If they hated doing it and apologized for it and felt guilty for it,
They felt guilty for it. Yeah, okay,
I
all
could
right.
tolerate the dog.
If they repented, if they were to be like, I'm so sorry for pooping, then it'd be okay.
If it was a vice and they would repent and just kind of like feel guilty.
If they knew they'd gone to Sin Town, then
Yeah. But
See,
they
but I think-
cannot be redeemed.
I think cats, they're definitely much cleaner, but cats also they have that oh wow, big death blossom medicine gets
That's
2.
huge.
Wow. Very big. I feel like cats, I think should be fuel map. Yeah, it is fuel's map. Wow, they won with Junker Queen into the Reinhardt comp. Actually, really well played from Dallas. Cats though, my cats have an issue at least. I don't know if you ever had this issue with cats, Tay, is that whenever I go to scoop their box, they have to immediately go use the box as I go to scoop it. Like, they know that I am their servant, and they're going to make me suffer while I go for it. Like, they're going to take enjoyment of the fact that I'm about to go scoop up their droppings and make sure to run
Maybe
in.
you're not doing it enough. Maybe that's the thing. Like, you're not supposed to leave it 14 days and just like let it
Well,
pile up. then they're just like waiting and be like, "Oh, please, I'm holding it."
no, I don't do it every 14 days. This is like every day to every other day max, like if I'm getting very busy. But... damn, we're gonna roast me like that.
I know you're distracted.
Really gonna
by
roast
Tay's
me right off the
fabulousness,
bat,
but
say I
one
don't
of
pick
the
up after my
girls
cat.
got
It was
no
low-hanging
kills and then
fruit.
lost the match.
It was. You got me. You did in fact get me. You have a robot litter box that cleaned itself. See, I saw those, but I don't know. I don't trust them. Something about
see-
like hand.
wait,
I just don't trust
why
that for
not?
the efficacy. I don't know. Something about the efficacy of it.
100% I'd get that if I had cats in this apartment. 100%.
I don't know if I would trust a robot litter box though.
But
They
like,
work
it would take you
perfectly.
5 seconds to check. You know what I mean?
Avast!
You're just like, well, okay, it didn't do its thing.
Can you please tell Tay Zonday that the fart clip
You know
is
what you'll find
genuinely
on
one of the
YouTube? You'll
funniest
find
thing I've
both-
seen on Twitch in years?
You'll
What
find
was that?
both cats and dogs that have been trained to use human toilets on YouTube.
I have seen those clips. I find it kind of unsettling though.
Avast!
I don't know if you find that unsettling, but I see it and it feels like the inverse, like upside down universe when I look at it.
the mirror universe.
Is it Stranger Things going the upside down?
Yeah, it's like something about cats sitting on toilets. It's like, what's next? Like Rise of the Planet of the Apes? They're gonna take over. I'm gonna be relegated to I don't know what exactly.
You're gonna be pooping in a box of Avast,
Yeah, I'll be pooping in the box. But then when they go to clean up my box, I'll rush in.
and I won't apologize.
And I will not apologize.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's how intimate do you want to be with your pet? Because, like, what do you think of people who will just like take a
Tay
bowl
Zonday
out
Day
of their
needs to be
cupboard
a
and
national
give
holiday
milk
for the
to their
Beijing
cat, or
Valiant.
like feed their dog, and then just put it in the dishwasher?
I mean, if you clean it, I think it's like not that. I mean, to me, it's not an issue. It would be weirder if you like didn't clean it, but it's just like a bowl, you know. It's just a bowl. I don't find anything with so. Why do you find that to be like odd? Do you find it odd if your pet were to use a bowl of yours, like your own personal bowl?
The human
You know, I think
porcelain.
it depends on where I am in the pet relationship. Like, if it's my pet, and like I've already kind of been around them, and we're basically like in the same pod. Like, you know, they talked about COVID pods. Like if my pet and I are already in like the same body pod, the same saliva pod. But if I'm at somebody else's house and I see them doing it, and then I'm like eating out of their bowls, it's kind of like
It's the implication that maybe they
but
didn't.
it's
Okay.
hesitancy.
Ah, I see.
You're just
I
hoping that
see.
they washed it beforehand.
Yeah, I would color code it. I'd like have like the level, like the shared bowls on one side of the cat.
Do you think it's weird if someone were to chew? You know, someone in chat says they chew their dog's food like a mama bird. Do you find that
What
to
the
be strange?
fuck?
If your dog is sick, actually, you know, they do that for. I know cats do that with kittens. They like chew like adult food and then regurgitate it for the kittens to eat.
Yeah. See, so it could be the stage of the cat. Maybe the dog is in hospice. You know, maybe it needs some extra help. That could.
Yeah, I mean,
it could just be
if
so
you're
bad
like,
for
if
everything.
it's like, the end of the world or post-apocalyptic world, and you got to innovate, then surprised that scene hasn't been on The Walking Dead. Chewing dog food and regurgitating it.
They haven't really discussed that aspect of like a post-apocalyptic show of not just what about pets in general, but also like if you needed food, could you not eat pet food?
Yeah, you could probably eat pet food. Fucking the wet stuff, at least. You don't want to eat the dry pet food.
I tried to
because
try pet
it'd be
food a
edible.
time or two as a kid.
Oh, you've tried it. What
What?
would you say? What would you rate as like? Do you find a particular brand has the best umami?
No.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's all because carnivores aren't really meant to eat carbs, so a lot of pet food is kind of like cheap carbs dressed to taste like meat and things that carnivores eat. I think it's still probably healthiest to feed carnivores like meat.
Okay, so that didn't answer the question about which food you found to have the best umami though as a child.
How many separate
none of
brands
it
did
tasted
you
that
eat?
good.
None of it was that good. Okay, but you didn't die.
Although
so
I haven't tried that idea of doing because we mainly did dry cat food. So now I feel like I need to go to the grocery store and sample all the wet cat food and see which one tastes.
yeah, see what
Maybe
they
that'll be my new
prefer.
review channel.
Oh man, that sounds expensive though. Why don't these grocery stores do like the free taster versions of fucking pet food?
Like they have at Costco. They just
Yeah,
like,
try before you buy.
Yeah, just out
Why
on the
not?
side in the fucking like tiny tasting cups.
Cat food tier list. That could be a great piece of content. Is the cat food tier list, and you drop that one out there.
How do you tell your friends that's your job? Like I'm a cat food sample curator at.
You say you're in media.
No, well, I mean that's what you do for a lot. Yeah, it depends on the thing. I mean, yeah, I've definitely dropped the I'm in media to a lot of Uber drivers when I don't want to explain what streaming is to them. But I don't know if I could get away with like. I feel like the conversation about it's almost more easily explainable that you eat cat food for a living. I think at times than to say you stream.
Yeah, it's a shorter conversation to have because they're probably
You
just
know?
going to shut up after that. After you say
It's very bedrock based type of thing. Like they can be like,
Yeah.
okay, I get what you're saying.
Really?
Yeah.
I would feel so intrigued as to the economics of the cat food like profit margin.
Oh, someone actually already has a cat food tier list maker. They've already made a tier list of cat food brands. There is
Cat
one.
people get everywhere, dude.
I haven't fed my cat. I mean, the thing is, not only have I not had cat food, I haven't given my pets this much cat food. All these brands. So, I don't really know how I could complete the tier list.
What cat food do you give them? Are you a one brand kind
I
of
used
man?
to work in pet nutrition.
I give them your
We
Purina
tasted some dog treats that just
for,
tasted like Oreos. and the
urinary
management
tract
had
health,
to
'cause
eventually
cats have a lot
stop
of
giving us
issues
sample
with that.
bags
Oh,
because the
that's
staff
pog.
kept
I bet we
eating
got some
all of
pog
it.
urinary tracts.
What? Someone worked in pet nutrition and the dog treats tasted like Oreos and the management had to stop giving the sample bags because the staff kept eating all of it.
What? No way. Okay, that is absurd.
I mean, if the dog treats taste like Oreos, I'm kind of intrigued.
At that point, you start giving them out as free samples and not telling people that it's dog food, and then you laugh at them afterwards.
I'm just trying to think, how do you solve that from a human resources perspective? I'm trying to think of the resolved job application with that. It's like, need people with retail sales experience and please
Self-control.
dislike dog biscuits.
Yeah, a passionate hatred for dog biscuits.
I mean, but if they taste like Oreo, you have to make sure that's like, if it's specifically the Oreo branded dog treats, you have to make sure they don't like Oreo in particular.
Yeah, so
right?
it's like Oreo enjoyers not accepted. You know, it says qualifications, and you have those disqualifications.
They have like a part of the interview where they like put out a couple of biscuits in front of you, and if you pick the Oreo, you get instantly dismissed.
Chad, I'm just gonna let you know I'm muted right
I
now.
just don't think it's gonna work out in this.
There's no
in
way
this
we're talking about Overwatch till Tay
fast-paced
Zonday
corporate
leaves.
environment. It's not for
Probably
you.
very little amount. Yeah, you'd have to come up with some very creative suggestions. I'm almost certain. you'd have to come up with some very creative suggestions there related to that.
I kind of wonder what dogs think of human food, though, because like I mean, like in nature, they're carnivores. They just eat meat. And by the way, that I don't understand like how a carnivore enjoys eating live meat and animals. And it's like because I would watch my cat. I hope this doesn't make people feel uncomfortable. But like my cat would eat chipmunks or whatever. Like it was an indoor outdoor cat, and it was like, how do you enjoy eating live stuff? And like it's just like, and then just go straight to, I don't know. Dogs will eat anything you hand them. Like they love table scraps.
Tay, the greatest taste of all is victory.
I think cats are hunters, though, is it not? Is it thrill of the hunt?
Yeah.
As they get the prey and they slay it, you know? It's literally like a bloodlust thing for them.
That was a great save by Leg Day, by the way. All the Overwatch casters have these amazing capacity to save any awkward moment. Like, okay, we're moving right along. Like, fold that.
Hey,
that was
I
a
mean,
dead end.
Listen, they've been casting Overwatch for 4 or 5 years now, so they have to be really good at working with, they have to be very good at working with not much. Yeah,
if something drives the conversation off a cliff or something, he's like, yeah, well, moving right along. We really like the taste of victory.
And now a word from our sponsors.
This is where I put my sponsors.
Now for dogs.
If I had any. Actually, you know what? Pet food companies, reach out. We've opened up the human tasting pet food market now avenue for the stream. So reach out. We'll have to see what happens with that.
I'd love to have we could have a segment where Tay sends in a pre-made YouTube video. Our pet food correspondent, Tay.
Yeah, could have. I mean, it'd be a great activation chance. I would get some chance to work with some nice some Petco brands or something like that. It could really all go together there.
Honestly, the price of food is so expensive now. Like it really gets you thinking. I feel like they charge so much for that canned cat food though, so you wouldn't save any money.
Being a cat in this economy, it's tough.
It is tough. Pedigree, the official snack of the Avast companion stream. Ooh, yeah, that'd be good. Sombra is out on for both these squads right now. I see. Yeah. They do be playing a lot of Tay's least favorite hero, but she is very powerful, like we were talking about. But I actually think the Winston here is a pretty cool idea because it's instead of playing the diva, they have the Winston where you can use the high grounds and you're not quite as busted by the Sombra. You're not getting quite as rolled by it, I'd say.
While we've got Tay here, I'd like to postulate a theory. Because on the desk, we've been having this consistent meme saying, the talent is there when we talk about teams like Toronto at points and NYXL. And that teams that have amazing players, but, no ability to play Overwatch. I'd like to say that Valiant is the exact opposite. They are a good Overwatch team with just thoroughly average players, salt of the earth, clock in 9 to 5, they call their dives, they track their ults, and they just play Overwatch well.
I think they got some talent.
I'm not sure I get the question.
Are they just thoroughly average players who just play good Overwatch because they talk to each other?
So you're asking.
So basically, the question is: do they have bad mechanics, but they are able to masquerade at the pro level because they have great comms?
I think they're average pros. I don't think they have bad mechanics, but they don't have the clutch factor mechanics that a lot of other teams do, which is kind of the opposite of a team like NYXL who play shit Overwatch but occasionally have a yucky moment.
I think Becky's kind of a nutcase though, and easy on at times.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I think when you get into the top 0.1% of mechanics, which is kind of where the baseline is for dividing contenders from Overwatch League, the final gradation within that 0.01% is it can be a little bit tough. I would need stats, I need spreadsheets to really deep dive that question.
We don't do that here. We just postulate wildly with no we just postulate wildly.
Only wild theory.
We simply just say whatever BS comes out of our mouth at all time here on this stream. It's that's generally our operating mode.
Although I was going to say that about Sombra. Sombra is a powerful hero on a coordinated team. If you're trying to solo queue with Sombra and your teammates just aren't having it, then I think there's kind of an inverse relationship there where the more coordinated your team is, the more value you extract from her. And so obviously in Overwatch League, they can extract tremendous value, but solo queue, I've kind of found it's it's hit or miss.
Everybody
That's
has
fair.
to be in comms, and they have to be on the same page, otherwise you lose.
That's very fair. I mean, I think she's a little bit better in
Probably
Overwatch
do
2
it
actually
experience.
without team play. And for at least when we're looking at like when we go into like just plain like games scenario, because she does more damage by herself
I
now than she used to in Overwatch 2.
No, I think that is completely
Aw.
outweighed by the
Fuel
strength
9.
of every other DPS. Like
Yeah, you think so?
Tracer,
You think she
Genji
just
are
won't be
more
able to just like
powerful.
eliminate your backline, you know,
Nah,
without herself?
It'll probably be a little bit more difficult to do so, I think. Because there's a lot less players on the field too, so like you can pay attention to a lot more things.
Also, we just
I
had a
think the-
C9 occur, by the way.
Yeah,
We missed it, but
it
apparently
was
there was a
nasty.
C9. But I obviously
Fearless went and primaled off the cart.
it do sometime be like that, honestly, where you just don't touch the cart. That's a classic Overwatch problem. Not
I
touching
think the
cart.
biggest buff to Sombra has
not
been
great.
fucking pings, dude.
Ooh.
Like her ability to gather information for free and effectively transmit it via pings is like super strong.
That's true.
Oh yeah, I love the ping system.
Yeah, you think so? You think the pink system's a great ad?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many cases where like I don't feel like being verbal, or if I'm in voice chat, I'm talking all the time, almost like too much. So like the ping system is a great way to coordinate, and like I don't know, I like multiple ways to do things. I like redundancy.
Yeah. I mean, having the option to work with your team without actually having to like put in the effort to talk is always nice. You know, that's always like an added boon for sure. I think that's why like most mini multiplayer games have had it for a while now. And it makes sense for Overwatch 2 because also you have to like call for the ults, you know? You have to be like, I want to use this ult and do this. But you don't want to actually have to like necessarily talk all the time. So it makes sense. Makes a lot of
That
sense
was
to me.
a
I think
wacky
actually
fucking stick.
London have no ults left, so I'm pretty sure Fuel are just going to hold them here. There's 30 seconds remaining, and there's no spawns. I'm pretty sure they're about to hold, unless they just, like, feed. Unless they drop a mad feed here, I think this is probably a Dallas hold on here on the on the
Oh,
point
it's
of
EMP
Eichenwald.
in time.
Wait a minute. They hit,
Three
they hit 4? 2
Anti's
antied?
nice.
I think they win. Yeah, that'll do it.
Pretty
That'll do it.
good, Yeah.
No more damage left. Dallas holds. It's looking pretty good here. It's looking pretty good for the
You
Dallas
know,
Fuel.
in the aftermath of this, we should probably like sync our video feeds.
Yeah, perhaps. That is. Perhaps we should have to
Yeah,
sync our video feed to
like-
it.
Like I'm
Yeah,
still
there's-
watching the end.
There's that's also a common thing that happens here is that since we are we have to constantly sync our feeds. Luckily with YouTube it's very easily done because of the like fast forward and pause features, etc. when you're watching live streams. But also we're paused right now, so we can't even sync if we want to.
Smile.
Couldn't even do it if we wanted to. Couldn't do anything at all. We just have to sit there. Did I watch
Kind
the
of weird
Soul
to
game?
pause
I did.
between rounds.
Yeah, I think it's because they're having technical issues. So, like, generally, like, they'll only drop it if it's, like, a tech problem.
Well, we've got a pause to fill. Can we return to the pet conversation? Because I've got a question about Thanksgiving as a holiday, because you don't have it in the UK.
How does that relate to pets?
Because I was going to ask, do you guys do Thanksgiving dinner for your pets? Like, is there,
What?
like, a special meal that they get? Do they get,
do
like, the
Christmas for
table
your
scraps?
What?
I
What do you...
I don't have any pets, so...
Do you do Boxing Day for your pets over in the UK?
I have no idea, because I don't have pets.
Yeah, but surely you've known people with pets, right? It's like, have you ever witnessed them holding a mini holiday for their pets?
Like a cracker or something.
Have you ever seen them
a
do that?
Christmas cracker with a dog? I think I have actually seen someone do a Christmas cracker with a dog before. Like, it bit one end.
It seems like the dog would very much hate that. A bang in its face.
What is a Christmas cracker?
It's like a stupid paper tube that you pull on both ends of, and it cracks open, and there's like a prize in the middle, and someone gets the long end, and it has the prize in it, and someone gets the short end, and eats shit.
It also has a joke in it. A very,
Oh,
very
true.
good
joke.
A joke.
Yes.
It's where a lot of your humor actually aligns with Christmas cracker jokes, Connor. I will
My
say.
humor aligns with Christmas cracker jokes.
It does. It does. If you look it up, it aligns perfectly with your humor. Yeah.
You know, they must
Yeah,
be
because-
very funny.
Yeah.
Well, you know
they
what
are.
is because comedy is a tension between the ordinary and the absurd. So it sounds
True.
like a Christmas cracker, which must be kind of a UK thing. It's like it's a condiment that's actually structured to be a physical barrier between
Pets get special
the
leftovers on
likable and the absurd.
Thanksgiving, and my family always
And
gets
that
our
is
dogs
Connor to a
Christmas
T.
presents cause they're
The
a part of the family.
physical embodiment of that.
You
The
know-
midway between likable and absurd.
Yeah.
I like the way this guy talks. It sounds real sophisticated. I like the way he dissects the comedy metagame here. It's very sophisticated here. Generally, here we're just saying single syllable words on the stream, Tay. So you've elevated it a bit so far.
Oh,
Have you studied a lot of like
thank you.
comedy theory? Do you think?
I do read a lot, and I do have a graduate degree I don't use. So
Really?
Oh,
what do you have a
on
graduate degree in?
Contemporary comedy?
actually, just American Studies, which is as broad and nebulous
Ah.
and vague as it sounds.
I mean,
Do you have any
I mean,
recommended reading on comedy?
Yeah, Del Close's Truth in Comedy is one of it's one of the classics, but he founded the Improv Olympic Theater in Chicago.
Nifty.
There we go. I stacked with this guy. Twitch viewer that stacked with Tay here in the chat. A fellow fan of his OpenQ gameplay has arrived. We're too dumb for this? No, we're not too dumb for this. Okay? Tay's gonna give us a list of reading homework like our 8th grade English teacher, and we're gonna go home and read it, and we're gonna make a book report, and we're all gonna put it on his desk afterwards.
We all need to do a little bit more
Hey,
reading.
could you ask Tay Zonday what he thinks about colonizing Mars? Should we just
Yeah,
take
no,
that
my
shit
Kindle
over and
is
move
full
out
of
to
like
space?
300 books
We
that
need
I've
the
read the
5-head
first
response.
30 or 50 pages of, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
actually,
okay.
same. I'm like, oh, that book looks really good. I'll buy the whole like series of 4 books. I read like half of one, maybe, put it down and start another one. It's bad. Sometimes it's a curse. At least if I had a physical book, I'd feel worse for having it lying around because I actually have to store it somewhere. I'm like,
Avast,
Avast, can
Prime.
you do my discrete math HW for me?
You know, someone actually here has a question for you, Tay. They've said, could you ask Tay Zonday what he thinks about colonizing Mars? Should we just take that shit over and move out to space? We need the 5-head response. 5-head meaning you have a very large brain.
Well, I mean, it always made more sense to me to colonize the moon first because it's a little bit of a tougher environment and it's closer and more accessible. And yeah, maybe if we get established there and establish the technology needed to achieve that, then Mars will be a smaller step.
Of course. So baby steps. Baby steps first.
Yeah, I mean, we should figure out how to have a long-term sustainable occupation of the moon.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. But what if the moon's not real?
What
considered
do you
that?
make of reports that the moon is made of cheese?
Have we considered that? What if we live on a
Like-
disk planet and the moon's not real? You know, it's just a NASA projection.
Like, Tay's so right, though, when it comes to, like, the efficiencies of launching things into space, it'd be so much easier from a moon base.
Plus, I mean, actually, because we're here in large part, because they theorized because of the moon, because Theia, the planet that impacted the early Earth and formed the moon, probably knocked off enough of Earth's atmosphere that Earth didn't become like Venus, where it's just like all atmosphere. It's like the formation of the moon is part of why we kind of ended up just right.
Wow. Wow. There we go. See? Catastrophic events can be very good. So, for example, when Shanghai Dragons have lost, 4 matches, that's actually really good for them, much like the Earth being hit by Theia.
yeah, that's very good.
It's creating the
Agreed.
perfect atmosphere for life.
And truth be told, 2CP was a catastrophic event. That's why we don't play Living Colony.
Yeah, true. And real.
Oh, he got me. He got
However, in millions of years, we will look back upon 2CP and think that's what made Earth habitable in fucking 24 million.
Man. I mean, you're literally advocating for 2CP, Tay. You've said Horizon Lunar Colony needs to exist.
Well, maybe it was needed in the formation. Maybe we needed to see how bad the 2CP was.
We had to do a test run.
Yeah, to get to where we are today.
To be fair,
Okay.
it's pretty multiple tests with the release of Paris. That lived in ranked for 2 weeks before they.
Yeah, we
removed
we
it.
learned that France was a
Never
bad
to be
idea
seen
after that, and
again.
we cancelled it.
Yeah, we canceled France after that one. We had enough of them. We had enough of the French.
French is gone.
Yeah. What would you say? Would you say that you're excited then that 2CP is gone and we're getting control for Overwatch 2 then, Tay?
Oh my God, I am so happy to never see Hanamura, never see Anubis,
Based.
never see Volskaya. Like,
Oh yeah.
You know what it's like when I'm playing Overwatch one now and I'm on a 2CP map. It's like a dead relative that you kind of like you have to like for social reasons, but you kind of secretly weren't like really in love with it. But you're there and like
Which
yeah.
relative do you hate the most, Tay Zonday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on that. That's a really good way to put it, perhaps. I personally, so here's the thing. This is a controversial opinion that I've shared on the stream before. Obviously, when you're like, it's very different at the different levels, but at the professional level, I actually have been an advocate that at many times 2CP is often a almost more balanced game mode than Control. But it's obviously extremely different at the professional level than it is like when you actually get to go. You're queuing up to play the game, and you have you have like 4 or 5 other random people, and you're just trying to play and have fun. It's a very, very different experience for the user, I'd say. Then Control, yeah, I know. It's controversial. I've shared this with you before, chat, but it's extremely controversial. But at times, I've believed it.
Yeah, I mean that's always a tension in the game. Does the stuff that work at the pro level work at the casual level for expanding the audience in the business?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, that's why they removed the tank. That's why we have one less tank, because people didn't want to play it. People did not want to play that. They just wanted to be. They wanted to be soldier.
I am so sick of double shield. I have seen like, if I never see double shield ever again in my life, I'm like, oh gosh, it's such
extremely based yet again from you, Tay. Extremely based yet again.
I'd like to
Double
think
shield
some point in
was
the
a curse.
future, like we're deep into the Overwatch 2 life cycle. You go back to watch some VODs for nostalgia. You're like, I promised myself I'd never do this, but here I am watching double fucking shield VODs again.
Are we going to get a bunch of new Twitch clips out of this? Like Tay Zonday's opinion on 2CP?
100%. I'm letting you know ahead of time. 100%. It's going out.
Based.
It's going out. I have no doubt that it's going to be out there on the competitive Overwatch subreddit and a lot of other places potentially. They're all waiting for your opinions. Honestly, you are really the oracle in a way.
They hated Tay Zonday because he told them the truth.
He spoke the truth.
Yeah, it was like Galileo. Who is it? Who they made drink poison? Because
Plato, right?
Maybe it happened a few times.
I think they've done a couple bad things to philosophers and
Socrates,
over the time.
Might be.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Socrates. People in the chat is saying Socrates.
Because he just
if the chat all says it at once, then it's probably right. Oftentimes they've led me astray, but I think they're probably right in this instance.
Yeah,
chat. It's like that phone a friend on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, no,
except it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's like ask the audience, except they troll you. Yeah, it's like the audience, except they're intentionally trying to mislead you at times and make you look foolish.
I mean, they just made Socrates drink poison because he just pissed everyone the fuck off. When they're like, hey, Socrates, how's it going? How do you know that physical reality exists? Like, man, can we just talk about anything else?
To be fair, they've made you do the equivalent to that already by making you drink popcorn and Coke at once.
Yes, the popcorn and Coke combination.
Socrates.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
I guess Socrates
you are
essentially
the modern day one.
He did have the classical era equivalent of pissy shitties. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, Tay, but there's a concoction where you put popcorn and soda together, and apparently it's a Midwestern delicacy, and they call it pissy shitties. So
I grew up in the Midwest, and I've never heard of this. I grew up. In
the it seemed like BS to me, but it's on Urban Dictionary, and thus I experienced it, and it wasn't that good.
Do you see that every year where like Merriam-Webster releases the new words that it's adding that year?
New words just dropped?
I mean, I'm going to tell you a new word that just dropped. Fearless just owned. He just got like 4 kills. He got a nano too from Fielder. My goodness. That's my new word of the day is Fearless owns. New words just dropped. I think they just added, didn't they just add in Merriam-Webster, they added something else that was like kind of like very recent lingo. I'm going to find it. I'm going to Google it. Newest Merriam-Webster.
They added selfie a couple years back to be an actual word.
I think it might have been bussin'.
No way did they add bussin'.
It might have been bussin'.
Do you have a favorite fresh word as Webster, Tay?
Ooh, no. I just use a lot of old words that nobody uses, like Kanye Shinty and Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist is good.
Zeitgeist is a good one. I use Zeitgeist a lot, actually. I think that's a fantastic word. It's up there with heinous for me. I enjoy those two words. What? I'm trying to see. Let's see. September 2022. Here's some new words they've added. So they've added actually dumb phone as opposed to smartphone now.
Oh.
Which is a cell phone that does not include advanced software features.
That seems pretty reasonable, though, because that's like invented technology. Or like
so basically it's an
technology.
Android.
Yeah.
I think we call those phones where I'm from.
Yeah. They've added laggy officially to the dictionary. Laggy is officially in.
Finally, high MS words.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we got here? Oh, they've added yeet.
Oh,
Yeet is in.
That's a good. Is bussin' actually?
Oh,
in
they
there?
added sus.
Oh, sus.
Sus is in the dictionary.
Let's go.
Sus is in the dictionary.
Zoomers corrupting our language.
Or making it better.
Very funny.
Our language is evolving faster than ever before. We're gonna eventually split into Old English and Zoomer English.
And they've also added, like, on the much older side of slang, they've finally added baller. So baller and sus have been added in the same
They added baller from
edition.
Fortnite.
Baller from Valorant. They added him
Baller
to
from
the
Valorant? No, baller. Baller. They've just now outed that. I feel like baller has been around for way longer than
That's been around
sus,
since, like,
obviously.
the 80s or something.
But apparently they
Baller.
came in at the same time.
I love Fortnite.
Like ballin' and baller. All right.
What's next?
Baller used to be just like you were like dressed well and you had style and whatever.
Yeah, the official definition, according to Merriam-Webster, is excellent, exciting, or extraordinarily, especially in a way that is suggestive of a lavish lifestyle. So that is the official definition of
Avast
baller.
lives a lavish lifestyle.
Stream's paused. The stream's not paused just because I'm tabbed out. Just because I'm tabbed out reading Merriam-Webster's newest sus terms. The new sus terms that have been added to the Merriam-Webster.
You have a favorite esoteric food, Tay?
Ooh, I mean, because I feel like I just eat very specific things, like peanut butter out of the jar with honey on top, washed down with milk.
With honey on top.
Well, I've
Yeah.
heard of that combo. I've heard of that
Do
combo,
you
actually.
scoop the peanut butter like with a spoon and then put that same spoon with peanut butter into honey, or do you pour the honey on top of the spooned peanut
Oh
butter?
no, the honey has to go on top of the spoon. You have to be careful about the order.
Okay, so I'm concerned
4K
about the
reading
logistics
chat
here. Can you
without
walk me through the
7 TV.
process since we're in a break?
Okay, so you open up the peanut butter. You have like a spoon. A bigger spoon is better. A tablespoon is better than a teaspoon. And you get a heaping pile of peanut butter on that. Then you take the honey and drizzle it over the peanut butter.
Oh, it's
and
a
then
drizzle.
Yes. So it's like it's like a flood coat with like it until it's like almost dripping off the sides. Then you take a bite, not all of the peanut butter, but about half of the peanut butter, and then you swig it down with milk, and then you repeat and put honey on
So
the
there's
rest
no
of the peanut
bread.
butter.
There's no bread in this at all.
If you're hungry and lazy, there's no bread.
I see. So it's kind of just
You can make a peanut butter honey and banana sandwich too.
So why do you re-up the honey drizzle? Do you like suck all the honey off the top in the first bite?
Yes. And
You
honey
go for
has
that-
to go down with peanut butter each time.
I see. Is it a smooth peanut butter or a crunchy?
Oh no, not crunchy. No.
Not a crunchy? Wait, based. Anyone else? Yeah, that's right. Smooth peanut butter enjoyers. Let's go.
Yeah, like I don't get crunchy peanut butter.
Neither do I. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy crunchy. I've never found the fan of it.
Avast, I thought one day of like a stupid content idea we could do where like one of us tries to interview a player about Overwatch and the other one just like it's one question each and one of us is the designated like proper interviewer and the other just asks like ridiculously stupid questions. Like what would you name a pet apple or something just to completely throw them off after every round.
A pet apple. Yeah, I mean that could be a decent. I mean this could be syndicated. This could be a syndicated content series.
And we
right
just
there.
take turns being the proper interviewer versus the fucking mental interviewer.
Creamy
that's
peanut
easy
butter
what you name a pet apple. You name it sauce.
sauce. Okay, that actually I think they've added that word to the dictionary recently too. The sauce, like sauce, not as in like the actual word sauce, but sauce is in referring to like a source of something.
I feel like naming a pet apple sauce almost sounds like a threat of what could happen
No,
if it
that's the
doesn't
thing. You
behave.
keep it in line.
You keep the
constantly
apple in
reminding
line.
it.
I see.
It's like a psychological ball and chain instead of like physically restraining it and putting it on a leash.
You rule with an iron fist over the apple.
Okay.
You all can read Michel Foucault, Discipline and Punish. It's a pretty deep
Dude.
dive into that.
Okay.
Tay Zonday is the
into
best
that.
proof of concept for this content idea.
I see. I've seen an interesting comment here about creamy peanut butter. Creamy peanut butter is for people who ask their crust to be cut off their sandwiches. And I disagree with that. You know, I don't think creamy peanut butter is for
Crunchy
people that
peanut
want the
butter is
crust
for
off their
adults.
sandwiches.
Grow
Because
up and get a job.
I love crust on my sandwich.
You
crust
see,
on the sandwich is far.
I love crusts conditionally. Like,
Conditionally.
I like them on sandwiches. I don't like the ends of the loaf, like the heel or whatever they call it. Like, no,
Really,
no,
you don't
I
like the heel? You're not a heel
No.
fan?
Like the all crust part.
No, that's bad. But I love pie crusts. Like, that's my favorite part of the pie when you get to the end of the pie.
Oh,
Why
question.
do you dislike the heel?
Do you like the end of a baguette?
Is there any? I guess there isn't really a heel to a
Yeah,
baguette.
I'm
is still
trying to visualize the end of a baguette.
I mean, it's still just baguette.
Sometimes if it's too dry, it'll be hard.
But just like with a fresh baguette, because that's also all crust. But I think the end of a baguette is amazing. It's the best part of a baguette.
Yeah, it depends on because some of the like hard breads, like baguettes and other those sorts, it's almost like that last piece is the structural reinforcement of like it's the strongest
structural
thing
heart.
that's holding it together. So you get to it and like you have to chew on it like 5 times as much as the rest of it.
I don't know. I find the heel to be quite enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie.
Hold up, we got ourselves a fucking mercy.
I think the heel's like the jerky of the bread. It's quite good. You know, it's got a good texture to it. It's able to retain flavor and sauce quite well. I enjoy the heel.
I think the heel of the bread in just like a regular bread loaf is a really good basis for a toasty.
True, it's strong, it's sturdy.
Yeah, it's like it's a handle.
Yeah, because it does like toast super well when you're gonna put like a softer bit on top, but it's a
I
really
thought you
good
meant
structural
toasting
base.
like a drink, like you did, like hold your bread.
me and Tay clinking our sandwiches together. Cheers.
I'm like, that must be a British thing. I'm like, okay.
Cheers, chums.
Crunchy peanut butter is for adults. Grow up and get a job. We all have jobs here.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We're all contributing
I
to
feel like I've had
society.
like 15 different jobs. Like that's a problem when you go through international customs because they always ask you, what do you do for a living when you enter a country? And I've made the mistake of listing like 45 different things. Like I teach and I've been on radio and sometimes I sing and I remember I listed like 45 things once and the dude's eyes lit up like mentally ill, crazy person, terrorist, and I'm like,
Do you think so? Which one do you think that you think having too many jobs is like a flag for security?
yes, I definitely, it was a flag, and they did a secondary search of all of my luggage for like take everything out and ask you.
They thought you were a
questions on-
dangerous demagogue of some sort.
Yes, they thought I was very dangerous.
Do you reckon a cat food tasting job would pass muster at that border checkpoint?
It might. I mean, it's one job, right?
Easier. I work in media.
That's a single job.
That's everybody's answer from now on at customs. If you go through customs, just say, I work in media.
Yeah. I think it works out. Also, good. Wow, what a dive from Fearless. He's been his Winston's kind of been pounding so far in this series. That's our 1 second of Overwatch League talk before we get back to our regularly scheduled describing how to get through customs without getting cavity searched talk. Too much? Yeah.
Wow,
maybe,
there
maybe
was
a
no
little too much.
segue for that. They were like, no.
There is no
elevated
segue.
message?
We don't do. There's no real segues here. It's kind of just a stream of consciousness.
I have been cavity searched by the dentist.
What?
What?
You got me. He got me. He got
When
me.
we both get the joke on the same delayed fucking wavelength.
He got me.
But yeah, this is avant-garde content formation.
Yeah, it's sort of like this. It's like when you watch magma bubble to the surface in the ocean and then it forms a new island. That's what we're doing.
We're creating conversational islands out of the primordial goo of conversation.
Someone donated
It's actually
money for
been a
the
minute or two since I've been to the dentist. I need to, it's one of those things that every time you go, there's a bill tied to it, and the longer you wait, the bigger the bill is. So it's kind of like if your teeth aren't falling out, it's kind of like,
learning a lot.
I could probably wait 6 more months.
I'm British, so I don't need to go to the dentist for them to tell me I'm British.
What did I miss? Which dono did I miss?
I laughed a little bit inside at that.
It's like, yeah, they do have funny teeth, don't they?
I mean, I think technically, dono, not a dono. Apparently, who did I miss? Who? A YouTube super chat? Wait, what? Is this these elevated messages? Is this a new feature? New feature just dropped?
New revenue stream for Avast so we can live his baller life of luxury and be part of Merriam-Webster's dictionary?
I'm trying. It's not even in the alert. It's not even in the alerts here for the stream.
Oh no!
They don't even have it.
Show yourself in chat. They're gonna start.
They just want to talk to
away.
Him. Yeah, since yesterday, and it sucks. Yeah, I literally can't find it. I see Tay typing.
7 TV.
Do I have what on TV?
There's a wonderful Twitch extension called 7TV, which has a load of custom emotes, including ones of like you talking.
Yes, it's one of the things about Twitch is like part of the elevating the chat experience. They have all these like animated emotes, like GIFs. And so there's like FrankerFaceZ and Better TV, and there's a new one called 7TV that somewhat reads it. And there's a lot of them that exist of you actually. And it's called and this channel they're called it's titled the name of the emote because each emote has a name. The name is Valiant Fan, and it's you just talking when you were recording the TF2 video.
Funny, because I've used Better TTV before, but I haven't used 7.
Yeah, it's newer. It's a lot newer, and there's a lot more emotes involved. It's not necessary if you're not on Twitch a lot. It's not necessary, but I'd say if you plan on being on Twitch, like if you plan on like reading Twitch chats, it definitely adds a better user experience.
Yeah, it's a less confusing experience as well because you'll like still see people type the emote code, and you'll be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, no, it's funny, kind of like being a meme or like because I'm in I'm a GIF. If you like search for chocolate rain on your iPhone, or there's a GIF or I move away from like people. And you know, it was scary. Once I had my iPhone and I asked Siri, "How old is Tay Zonday?" And Siri replied, "Tay Zonday was a viral."
Was
Yes. And I'm like, wait, hold on, Siri.
Dude, Siri's fragging.
I mean, Apple knows something you don't.
Siri's about to start calling me soft.
For you.
Damn, they were right at that time. As soon as you searched that, they had called in the drone strike, and he was about to take him out right there. He had searched too deep.
I never liked that about Call of Duty of like calling in strikes. It was always just like maybe I just never really because that game is so popular. So you kind of like I think my fear with Overwatch is that you look at one.
This is not the real Tay Zonday. The real one is
malign it as the lowest common denominator, but it's like. Wait, is that what has the widest appeal in FPS play? Because I'm like,
Why? What, you don't like it as in you don't like kill streaks?
Yeah, and...
Do you want me to let Aaron Keller know that you disapprove of drone strikes in Overwatch?
Yeah, although I guess Doomfist's ult is kind of like a drone strike.
True. Yeah, a little bit, right? It's kind of like that.
Hello.
I think
I think the new Bastion one is also basically a drone strike.
Well, I mean, no, Bastion's not a drone strike. It's more of an artillery strike.
It's a mortar strike technically, but mechanically it works like a drone strike.
It's like, much less effective than his old ult, so I'm all for nerfing Bastion.
Funny.
Me too, man.
It's true. Oh, Achilles here. Seth.
Hello.
You're
going
just
on?
in time to join. We're here currently discussing the various types of drone strike versus predator strike, mechanics in Call of Duty with Tay Zonday. So
Oh, I see.
you've arrived just in time.
The real Tay Zonday.
Yeah.
Did the
He's-
Obama
just hanging
Wow,
out.
that was
presidency-
like a very pensive.
I know,
and
right?
No, like
the real
I-
Tay Zonday.
I saw the name when I was joining Discord, and I was just like, surely somebody just changed their name and profile picture.
No, this is you thought that Tay Zonday was dead according to when you Siri searched him, when you used Siri, but no, he's not actually dead.
No, true
He's-
story. Siri, I asked Siri how old I was, and she's like, Tay Zonday was. And so I tweeted Tim Cook. I was like, I tweeted, it was at Tim Cook at Apple. Like, why is my Siri telling me that I'm dead? And the next day it was fixed.
Tim Apple got right on that.
He discovered the plot too early. They hadn't yet orchestrated it. They hadn't
We've been
orchestrated the plot
exposed.
to put then the deep fake Tay Zonday so they could monetize him.
Yeah. So I like to think that Tim Cook got the notification of my tweeting him and was like texting someone to be like, can somebody fix this? This is
We've got to talk to Big Siri.
So we've just been chatting a variety of topics here today, Seth. We also chatted about, like, have you ever tried a dog biscuit or a cat treat before as a human?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was
Nice.
I was probably about, I don't know, 8.
Review?
I was 8, and it was like, what is it, bacon bits? That like American
What
brand.
was the
Bacon
brand
Bits or
though?
whatever?
What was the brand?
Bacon bits?
Oh, is Bacon Bits a brand? I thought it was just bits of bacon is like an adjective. Like it's just a thing. I don't know Bacon
Some
Bits.
bitted bacon.
I thought bacon bits were human food. Like I remember
Maybe
eating
it's, oh
bacon
no,
bits.
sorry.
Nobody
Sorry.
told me it was dog food.
It's bacon strips. That's right. The chat's
Oh,
right. That's right.
bacon strips. Yeah, I know
Bacon
bacon
strips.
strips. Yeah, I know those.
Bacon strips, bacon bits. It sounds this fucking same.
Wow.
Very misleading. Very misleading.
Can't believe
My
that the
bad.
Senate just comes in and straight up lies again.
Yeah,
It's,
lies.
it's what we do.
What did you think? Not wrong. what did you do? How did you feel about the bacon strips? Were they any good to 8-year-old Seth?
I tell you what, I remember eating it and thinking this tastes nothing like bacon.
Yeah, like in a bad way or in a good way.
It was just so dry. Like it was like dry and crumbly.
I find that's what the dogs like about it. I feel like the dogs love the dry crumbliness of it. But honestly, I don't know what the exact taste buds of dogs are. They eat a lot of different things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a carnivore and you eat meat, wouldn't you like kind of like tough and sticky and sinewy and like greasy?
Yeah, like
Because that's what like
bloody,
eating a live
fresh
animal
kill.
would taste like.
Oh, Tay, these words are using. Get me going. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, we're having a good, decent conversation,
It's
and you're gonna drop that.
provocative.
I'm here to drag it all down.
We've been so highbrow up until this point, discussing eating pet food and disposing of poop, and you're just gonna immediately jump in, huh?
Yeah. Hang on, give me a second. I'll be right back.
And there he goes. He's exiting stage left. Soon after, he's exiting. He's at stage right. I don't know the proper stage
My
etiquette.
work here is done. He's gone to add sinewy to his internal lexicon.
Okay. I just had to shut my door.
Nice.
Did you? Okay, well that's the map. That's a 3-0 for Dallas. It appears that we did in fact call the 3-0 correctly.
Yep, 3-0 Predators feeling pretty fucking based right now.
But technically, we all got the right team right, so everyone did get the right prediction in a way. We just didn't get the perfect Preds. So
Everybody gets chalky milk before their naps today.
very good.
Where is London
Yay.
playing from? Because they're certainly not playing on ping. They're somewhere in North
Los
America.
Angeles.
They,
They're
like-
in LA.
They're in
Oh,
LA.
okay.
Yeah, they have because they're owned by Cloud9, and Cloud9 has facilities out there.
Oh, dude, this is more gaining on the wheel, right? Oh, no, it was 3-2 to London ship.
No, yeah, the wheel. Well, actually, no, the wheel. Yeah, that's good for me. We do gain on the wheel
Oh,
here
yeah.
because the wheel will go down a bit.
My
So-
blue team's just fucking crossed wires in my brain.
And right now, this means that Tay has a 100% prediction rate. after joining the coach room. Currently at 100%.
Hell yeah, baby.
Not at a perfect, but at 100% still for being
Tay,
1 for 1.
how did you feel when
Or 1-0.
you woke up and you saw the results from today? You
Ooh,
a happy man?
I mean, I was just like, I mean, when was the last time Valiant won 2 in a row? Like, has it been years?
Probably.
It actually
Yeah.
might have been years because they were really bad last season too. So yeah, it actually might have been years.
I had to I was just like, "Where's Tay? He's not here.
Soft sounds like
I didn't see him in the chat."
Dude,
I've been told you've
have
been
the longest
insinuating
work
that
day.
he's the anti good luck charm.
Nah,
That you've
nah,
been saying
nah,
when
nah,
Tay
nah,
Zonday's
nah,
not in
nah,
chat,
nah,
the
nah,
Valiant
nah,
wins.
nah, 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 nah. Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that one out there.
Okay, look, all I'm saying is I was obviously there was last week and then they beat the Fusion and I remember being like, I don't think I saw
for
Tay.
next match.
And then I opened the chat to see if Tay was there and then I saw him say like, "Wait, what happened?" Like he tuned in like right as they had won.
Yeah, I think I said, "Oh my gosh, I just woke up," which was true.
I admire your dedication.
Yeah, because I have to get up at like 4 a.m. Sometimes they're at 2 a.m. Actually, it's like 2, 4, and 6 a.m. are the time slots for
yeah, especially because you're on
for APAC for me
yeah,
in Pacific
especially
time.
because West Coast. Yeah, West Coast is like very far behind. Have you confronted Tay about the rotting rat flesh tweet? That tweet's the rotting rat flesh tweet, of course. I doubt he even remembers this tweet. I don't know if you remember this tweet.
Oh no,
Tay.
I see it because people like retweet it or favorite it periodically. It shows up in my.
What was the context behind that?
Well, I was in an old house that was infested with rats and mice, and I made the mistake instead of trapping them of poisoning them, and did not realize that can cause them to die in the walls, which is like a smell worse than death. Like, I don't think if you haven't smelled rotting flesh, like I can't imagine how bad a human smells. Like people have their neighbor die in an apartment or something, because holy moly, a rotting rat in your wall is just like. It's the worst smell imaginable.
Let me tell you, humans way worse, and it's really hard to cover up.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that.
I've heard that for that smell to leave.
Not from personal experience, but I definitely heard that. I've heard that humans smell pretty bad.
Chat, can someone link me the best Tay Zonday clip, or rather the best Twitch clip in history? Tay, you have a Twitch clip, which is my favorite ever in history, which is you just randomly farting, but you alert the chat to it in advance, and it just comes through the mic so well, and it always fucking splits my sides.
Splits my sides, he says. Splits my sides.
Oh,
Can
I
you
was
confirm
I was
Anthony's
supposed to
full
laugh at the right. No, that's is that the TF2 clip? Or is that
Why? Dude, you're so. Oh my god. You just boomed him out of it. Tay, you just ruined him. You just ruined him right there.
I it was here's the thing, like, because the Brits and leg day is a perfect example of Brit, like they would never just like lose their mind laughing like so it was something he's like I split my sides, and I'm like wait oh okay.
Have you been listening to him laugh on the stream so far?
That means like raucous laughter. So I'm like so
Harry goes
I'm analyzing and thinking like wait how do I follow that? Okay, that was
Harry goes goblin mode when he laughs. It's very Joker.
Yeah, I
laugh.
have quite a Junkrat Joker goblin-esque laugh. Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
he goes
I found the
goblin
clip.
mode.
Yeah, I like Junkrat. I used to play Junkrat a lot more when I was down at 60 FPS because I couldn't hit scan. But then when I went up to 144, I'm like, oh, there are other characters that I can play now. I wish you could say. I wish they would do that with solo queue. Just ban people who are playing at less than 144 hertz, and ban people with pings higher than like 70.
Wow!
Technical spec fascism.
The tech-based filtering, huh?
Yes.
The tech-based filtering.
That would be the perfect
we need
solo
the
queue.
tech Ubermensch.
You should just be able to
be up with anybody who's at 60 FPS or higher than 70 ping.
we should just have like a 60 hertz and 144 hertz queue.
Yes.
Filter out the poor and the weak, and then only then can we have Overwatch 2
Yes.
at its peak.
if you live in Oklahoma, screw you. You don't team
You
up
know
with-
what? Incredibly based. Incredibly based from Tay.
I've had enough of these people.
He's done it again.
We don't need Middle America. No.
He's done it again. He's talking to us, the coastal elites. We've done it. Finally.
You can
Finally,
even
we've gotten
see
them.
that with pro players though. Like Agilities grew up in rural Canada, and that's why he was a Genji main, because they make these characters for people who can't play with low pings.
You know, he actually, to be fair, I mean, it's also why Shadowburn was really good in early Overwatch 2, because he played like 180 ping from like Russia the whole time. And then there's like a theory that when he moved to Overwatch League for Season 1 and played on low ping, he got worse because the ping wasn't insanely high anymore.
Oh, I mean, you can see that effect in multiple other games, honestly.
Well, the
Had
people,
some players
get a lower ping, and
had some players in League that like one of the players used to live in Hawaii, and he basically started playing on like
I'm gonna fart. Don't tell anybody.
EMS.
Oh God, that's
And
terrible. I hope the
just
microphone didn't pick
ended
that up.
like dominating Challenger and everything. And then when he came to LA, he was like had to get used to it. It's just, there's that goblin laugh.
He's laughing at the clip still. He's laughing at the clip. He's
It's a
just
very funny
seeing,
clip.
he's seeing the clip and he's losing his mind over it currently.
So you should just tell the world when you have to fart. Who cares? We all do it.
It's very Giga Chad behavior, I'll say.
Just tell everybody, you know what? I'm gonna bust ass right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a dead rat.
I'm gonna make a dead rat. I mean, that's even. I feel like that's more severe. Honestly, that's more severe. But to be fair, I feel your pain. I will say, I did it when I was a child. A rat died in my walls, and it was very smelly. So I get that. Actually, my cousin, he rented out a place. He was going to school at Texas A&M, which is a very big state college for those that are non-Texans here. It's like pretty much them and UT, or like that's what the two big colleges. There are others, obviously, but there was this place out in the woods because it's like kind of in the middle of nowhere, College Station, and he rented it for like $300 a month. And mind you, this is like in 2020, so like this is recent time. So if you're renting something for like $300 a month, I can assure you it was a hovel. It was a hovel. And the issue is that one time they got a lot of rain and it flooded, and he said he'd always had rat issues, but one time it flooded and the flooding literally washed a wave of rats into the garage. Like, we're talking like a wave
Not the
of
rat
rats
raft.
into the garage.
Were
And
they
he
living
said
or dead?
they were alive. They were. It was essentially like their Hurricane Harbor. Like they were like all up in the water, like whoa, they were tubing and shit.
Fucking Hurricane Harbor.
Yeah, there was hundreds of rats that have been washed out.
They just
And
play
they're
a
just
raft
driving
co-op,
an
man.
adventure park.
The Vermintide.
What is the history of the name of this Discord? Avast Rat Sanctuary? Because if like that sounds like that
Lore
would be
time.
like that cousin would be the perfect like that experience. It's
Well-
like, oh, he had a rat sanctuary. He basically had this Discord in his garage.
It's a bit of a lore moment we're gonna have here, Tay. So, essentially, at one point when I was in, I think around 2019, when I was first booting up this stream, like really get into it, there was I thought it would be funny if we had awards and like segments based off defunct companies. So, like for example, like Circuit City, like
Radio
things
Shack.
like Radio Shack, sort of like stuff like that, like. And so I picked Chuck E. Cheese as one of the companies, but I had forgotten that Chuck E. Cheese is still very much an active corporation. And so then it turned out that we pretty much like ran down this whole thing of like, oh man, Chuck E. Cheese is real. Like we started coming up with more segments. And then then I thought it'd be funny to continue to post these awards on Twitter and tag Chuck E. Cheese in these awards. And they eventually responded. They started interacting from the official Chuck E. Cheese account with my tweets related to Overwatch League. And then I had a friend come in and say, oh, we can run an event for you called the VastCon and do it at a Chuck E. Cheese in Florida. So we can run an Overwatch event at a Chuck E. Cheese and rent it out and make it kind of like an adult themed thing versus like, you know, and we actually
adult rats, rat
like is it like, you know, there was gonna be drinks and stuff like that. And then the other thing that further cemented that was we had I went to work BlizzCon in 2019, and the guy that runs the PR firm for Chuck E. Cheese, who like runs their social accounts, he was at BlizzCon. And I also bought, during this time, I bought a knockoff Chinese-made rat suit to mimic Chuck E. Cheese's costume. I still have it, in fact. And I wore that on the official broadcast for the BlizzCon event for Overwatch, for the Overwatch World Cup. And we had to check it with legal and everything. And luckily, they said it was okay. And the guy that ran the PR firm...
amazing, by the way.
Well, yeah. It was a whole thing, and they let me do it. And then they... the guy saw it and was like, I want you, I'm going to partner with you to help run this event, this AvastCon event. And then COVID hit, and then all this fell apart. But essentially those events became why the Discord is called the Rat Sanctuary.
Yeah, AvastCon was basically Firefly 2.0.
Yeah, it was going to be a whole thing, and then COVID canceled it.
Or Firefly is actually the festival that works. Fire Festival is the one I was thinking of. Firefly is a festival in Delaware.
I mean, technically, Firefly did get canceled.
Sure.
So.
I'm still mixing up the name.
When I think of Chuck E. Cheese and social media, I think of how they had to deal with that conspiracy theory that they reused
about the pizza
slices.
Yeah. I did see that, but I feel like there's no benefit to that. I remember when that theory came out, we discussed it, and I was like, I don't see the benefit to Chuck E. Cheese to doing this, because there's no way they have a very high overhead on pizza, because it's like not very high quality pizza.
Yeah, the
how dare
biggest
you?
overhead is labor.
Yeah, there's just no way. Like, in fact, having more labor surely would increase the cost of the pizza by reassembling it in a Frankenstein monster.
Although I also think of having an adult party at Chuck E. Cheese, because like, aren't adults too big for some of the rides there, and like the gyms that like kids crawl in and out of? Like, I just try to think of adults like it's like a party at a Discovery Zone. So it's like
well, the thing is that we were going to set up separate booths in like areas and not necessarily utilize the ball pit, because also the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese is like a bioweapon, you know. It's filled with all sorts of virulent diseases, I'm sure.
They don't disinfect the balls.
I don't know.
They probably spritz some cleaner across the top layer.
I'm not sure what the ball disinfectant protocol is.
Can you imagine if you got hired at Chuck E. Cheese and it's like your first day on the job and the manager tells you like, yeah, I need you to clean the ball pit, and you're like, okay, how do I do that? And he's like, yeah, just grab all of the balls and wipe them down. Every single one individually.
I mean,
so
I'm
not
sure
sure what
if I was being paid $18 an hour to do that, yeah,
it wouldn't be $18 an hour.
I'd clean all the balls.
I think
they'd give you $7 and some tokens.
You know what I would
depends
do?
on where you live.
I would be sorting them into colors. I'd be like, okay, they're the red balls, the clean blue balls, the clean green balls.
I agree. I mean, I think you'd be one of the best. I think you'd be one of the best ball cleaners they could hire, Tay.
No, honestly, I'd make a machine that would do it, because like you could easily like make a type of vacuum that sucks the ball up and puts it through like a UV light and then tosses out the other side. That sounds like there are YouTube channels that invent weird things, and that sounds like something that a weird engineer would invent.
Repurpose the old like 80s, 90s Chuck E. Cheese animatronics to polish the balls. Instead of playing instruments, they pull out a cloth and polish the balls.
They could turn them into ball polishers.
Yes.
And then we could combine that with Tay's idea of the ball sucking machine to UV light.
You just need to suck and polish. That's all it is.
I mean, this is just really a great innovative consideration of sanitary policies here. So public health is definitely a concern.
Yeah, I think so. I think we could make a deck and propose it to the Department of Labor.
In RFP, a request for proposal. Look for venture capitalists. Like we need
Cheese
like,
is a hard stance against COVID-19. That's why we use the utmost just cleanliness policies. We have the suck and polish policy here.
Yeah.
This sounds like an Indiegogo campaign. Like this is a new invention, and we need to raise. And then what are the rewards? What are the reward tiers for the Indiegogo if you donate to make the sucking ball disinfecting machine?
I think you should be able to get. What do you think? What do you think, Seth?
I was gonna say 5 extra minutes in the ball pit.
5 extra minutes in the ball pit.
Yeah.
Perhaps maybe a behind the scenes of how we suck and polish the balls.
It's like that works.
Maybe one of those.
What was it DashCon, the Tumblr convention?
Oh, DashCon with the ball pit, baby.
Yeah. Where it's like
jump in the pit
to compensate everybody for all of the canceled panels that didn't exist to begin with. They're like, you get like an extra half hour in the ball pit, and it was like an inflatable pool. For like up one person.
It was a paddling pool that they just put some random fucking balls in. Somebody pissed in the ball pit. Anyway, I'm back. Hi.
Welcome back. Also, I forgot to do another segment here. We haven't done it yet. The elf. So the elf here, Tay, is we pick a viewer and they also give their own predictions for the day, and we call them the prediction elf. And we forgot to show the preds from the elf today, actually. Today's elf, I forgot, was Chip the elf. And they actually had a 3-2 for fuel for the first match. And so, unfortunately, well, they're the right team, but not the right scoreline. But the reason was, I'm expecting a banger today, but Hanban is just too good. Followed up by New York 3-1s. The Washington Justice. I will never pred for the Justice again. Yaki sweeps. And then
oh shit, did you
Rain
get Bruce?
3-0s the Shock Pepe LA. And the answer is yes, I did, because that's yet another tradition we have on the stream, is that when the Washington Justice play, I have to drink.
Hell yeah, baby.
That's another tradition that I must fulfill.
I swear it's just complete happenstance whenever I tune into you that the Justice is playing.
I think you're like an omen of ill portents. You show up right.
It's just I always show up and then Avast starts drinking. Is there a correlation?
There's like a shadow over our house. We gotta put like lamb's blood on the door to stop Seth coming in before a Washington game.
Yeah, I am the plague.
We really do have a rich culture that's been built here over this stream over the past couple of years. It's quite. Some could argue that it's not viewer friendly. Some could argue that it's almost very inaccessible for the new person to show up. I would argue that maybe that's
load-bearing ficuses to drinking.
Yeah, some people could argue that's true.
I was never a big fan of alcohol. Like, if you mix it with enough sugar, I can tolerate it, like hard lemonade or like a pina colada. But like hard vodka, hard liquor, I'm just like, I drink it and it tastes like rubbing alcohol. Like my face burns.
I don't
it's definitely acquired.
I think that's
a
good work. Good work from you, because it's literally poison. So technically, it's probably best for me that I don't enjoy it. So in fact, it's probably for the best that I do not enjoy it. But at the same time, I'm also not a hard liquor person. I'm a beer person, which is not very like high in alcohol content comparatively. So, and that's
here's a confession.
Go on.
I have never met a beer that I liked.
I mean, you're not gonna. I mean,
as fuck, Tay.
I don't. You. This is not a gotcha moment. I think that's completely valid. A lot of people do not like beer. They don't like it at all, and I think that's completely fair.
Have you ever tried a cider, Tay?
Ooh, like a hard cider? Yeah, I mean, I can go with that.
Hell yeah. Where I come from in the UK is like, it exports some really good ciders, so I'm very much a cider guy.
I'm a mostly anything goes kind of guy, other than shots.
No shots? You don't get to party with Krusty?
I'm not. Just when people pull, because everyone, whenever shots come into the mix, everyone's just like, "Ooh, tequila," and I'm like, "No, ooh, I'm gonna vomit."
Hello, friends.
Lemon.
Hey.
Hello, Lemon. We've been on our alcohol panel with Tay.
I mentioned tequila, and the lemon shows up.
Yeah.
But really, we've been talking about let's instead, since we've already discovered that alcohol is kind of a mixed board. What about your favorite non-alcoholic drinks, Tay?
Ooh, I feel like 'cause my diet is so boring now because like I'm like no sugars, no carbs. But I've always been had a soft spot for juices,
Juices.
like sugar, yeah, sweet sugary juices. Like I mean, like pulp-free orange juice, apple juice. I don't like pulpy stuff, like those Odwalla things or like pulpy orange juice. Like I don't like juice that has the consistency of whole milk. That doesn't work for me. But like if it's nice, like sugary juice.
Consistency of whole milk. What juice are you drinking?
No, like that's what orange juice with pulp tastes like to me. It's like this is like half and half milk.
Just thick.
Oh, Tay, opinions on sparkling water, please.
Okay, that is this terrible thing that Europe gets wrong. And I went to Berlin and I went it's like you can't get non-carbonated water. Like,
Yes,
you have tap water here in Berlin that like does not come out of the tap carbonated. Like, I'm there like trying to eat because like it's just no.
They just have soda streams attached to every sink
Guess how
faucet.
many cans of sparkling water Connor drinks a day?
I drink a lot of sparkling water.
You try to take a fucking
sparkling water and
try to take a fucking shower in Europe and it's just
love it.
bubbly.
I love it. When I went to Germany for the first time and they had sparkling water everywhere, I was like, oh, this is right up my alley.
Are you a fucking LaCroix guy?
I mean, I don't mind LaCroix, but I actually don't drink it. I actually don't drink LaCroix that often.
No. Because I have a predisposition against this because when I lived with Wolf in LA, that motherfucker bought so many cases of LaCroix every time we went to Ralph's. We'd walk out of Ralph's and he'd have 3 cases of that shit under his arms.
I actually drink like a lot of. I find the Whole Foods generic brand, Black Cherry generic brand of sparkling water to be the best. I drink that one almost exclusively. I just don't
understand this because why wouldn't you just drink water?
Yeah, like the basic building block of life on Earth. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it is water. It's just carbonated, and
it's water that hates you.
Yeah. Diet soda.
I enjoy it. I just like the mouthfeel of it is nice to me.
Yeah,
It's nice to me. The mouthfeel of it. Lemon, trust me, you just missed our whole. What are we gonna do with the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese's? You've missed that whole conversation. So there's many things that you missed on that.
Wait,
also, thank you for the
ball pit?
gifted to Tay Zonday, Mr. Kemke. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's big.
I see. Thank you.
Now you have access to all of my emotes, Tay, and you get to skip ads. Well, you've unlocked a world of imagination.
Huge pog.
Yeah, I stopped paying for Twitch Prime. So that's like
For Amazon Prime, you mean?
Pardon me.
Do you get it with Amazon? Because I have.
Yeah,
Amazon.
If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Prime. Yes.
Were you paying someone for Twitch Prime? Did you get scammed, Tay? Did someone offer you Twitch Prime?
It
Oh,
used to be
like $10. It's $10 a month, right? Like the Twitch.
Oh,
I get
you had like
pleasure
Twitch
out of
Turbo
food and
or
drinks
something.
that are
Twitch
trying
Turbo.
to-
Oh,
Maybe they
Twitch
changed the name.
Turbo. Twitch Turbo. Yes. Twitch Turbo is for like the site-wide ad blocking. While the sub is just for the channel. Yeah. You get a free Prime sub via Amazon Prime. But yeah,
Okay.
you don't.
I
You
knew I
don't
wasn't
get
losing
Turbo.
my mind.
No. Yeah. Turbo is something separate. You have to pay for Turbo.
Can I
Vike
request a video be watched?
_ thank you for the Prime.
It's somewhat relevant to the conversation.
What is that?
I'll link it in the group call chat.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me
the
take a look.
Toronto Defiant hoodie?
If I can
Oh,
find it. There it is. There we go.
Necro so cozy.
Wait, we have a chat?
Oh, yes. There is a group call chat
It's
that
a
we
channel,
use.
yeah.
It's a channel. If you look above us in the Discord, Tay, there's a channel called, and under the voice channels tab, there's something called the group call chat. And it's like a text channel for if you want to put things inside the text channel. So there is actually a chat for us. It's just, generally we're just using our mouths to talk to each other, but, you know, we can also type.
Like,
This
like
video is
the
a
old
minute long.
conversations
I
of
reckon you
old.
could fit it in.
Okay. Let me take a look. Ooh, yep, there it is. It's very fancy. I know. It's a very fancy channel we have. I can see that this video is related to LaCroix.
Ah,
You notice
excellent.
more mosquitoes
LaCroix
this summer?
propaganda.
You know, I lived in LA for 11 years, man. And there has never been a summer of mosquitoes like this. So then we're supposed to be flying into Baltimore to meet with her dad. And I think he just bought a new house with his girlfriend, so that'll be an interesting trip.
Have we done Prez yet?
We're about to, once
And I
I
don't
finish
think I'm ever
watching
gonna
this
see
video.
that money again. How many LaCroix have you had?
I don't know.
You know you're peeing your pants, right?
Oh shit, dude, give me another LaCroix.
You're not done with that one.
Give me another LaCroix!
I can't believe this is fucking real, dude. Go, go, go. You got this. Go, 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 go. What the heck?
It's a little bit of a cliffhanger, isn't it?
Keep going, buddy. Yeah!
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I was just watching. Okay.
I said it was a little bit of a cliffhanger.
It was a tad, yeah. I don't know. We don't know where he went.
What was that?
Don't know where he went. Don't know what was going on with that. But we did see his friend get showered in his LaCroix, showers. So that was interesting. Well, on that note,
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
On that
would you-
particularly soggy
of-
note.
What
the
PSI? of
PSI?
water
I don't know. I don't know what the PSI of that would be for him to
would
require
it take
lift
to
off.
lift off like that?
I'm sure. What is the? Does anyone know the thrust required to lift a human being up? In chat.
By piss?
Well, I mean, just like what would be the average amount? What would be the amount of force via the thrust? You know, to go
it
up.
would be a lot, especially coming from a
times
non-rigid nozzle.
acceleration, something like that.
Yeah,
I
but I
don't
guess
pass
if-
physics.
From
Yeah,
a,
I mean, I
from a
guess if
non-rigid
someone weighs
nozzle
like
as well, it'd be like pretty difficult.
Yeah, if someone weighs like 170 pounds, and I guess like you need at least that much downforce to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I never got that about Brits because they don't really use, but they do that weird like stones and like whenever Brits talk about weight, like I'm
we
so
use the
confused.
metric system. Thank you very much.
Stones.
Don't you use like don't you use like
You
the stones and the rocks and the like whatever else?
We used to weigh people by
Holy
putting them on a
shit, the
scale and
DC
seeing how
team
many
has a
stones we
record
could
of
place on the other
9/11.
side before the scale
Oh
tipped.
my fucking god.
You guys
I think
still use stone, don't
It's
lie.
based off Stonehenge, is it not? That's how you base it off.
I am 5
The
stone and
Senators' new
11
ad campaign
pebbles.
hasn't won me over.
Ooh.
Yes, I
good.
know. I've been slimming down.
Wow.
It
Well,
sounds like a Flintstone sequel.